So, I know you must be wondering. Well, I'm bored. Been in the house for a while. And as a result, I do a lot of silly things. Tonight, I decided to dress like this, and it is cracking me up. Anyway, tonight I want to talk to you about getting older or aging or whatever you want to call it, maturity. Yeah. A lot of things happen to you when you start to age, when you get past that 50, you know, into your 60s. The body just does some weird changing, very weird changing. And I want to talk a little bit about some of the things that has happened to me. So one of the things is I've always grew up and I didn't like the word fart. I always say it past gas. And I'm serious. I would not let that word fart play out in my home. I always told my kids, you passed gas. See, passing gas is more like, it's a very sweet, subtle little release. However, when you get a certain age, it's not passing gas, okay? Woo, honey, I have found out that not only is it not passing gas, it truly is the word fart. And it hurts me to say that word, but that's what's happening now. I am farting. I am farting. I can play tunes, okay? Not only in the past, okay, those little subtle things, they really didn't hardly have a smell. But honey, I have to leave the room when I fart, okay? I go to another room to finish the fart. And that's the same thing with the poop. Used to flow like a little faucet. Not anymore. Sometimes I create peanut butter. I know that's gross. And I don't finish it in the same bathroom. I have two other bathrooms. And often I have to go to one of the others to finish because I can't take the smell in that one. I don't know what's going on with the gut. So I'm trying to change my diet and eat more fruits and vegetables, and which I was doing anyway. But I was eating some fried foods. I cut that out. Yeah. And getting older, you know what you do too? You wake up with things aching that weren't aching when you went to bed. Listen, I would think I was just in my 40s. I think that's where it all began. In my 40s, I'm standing at the window washing dishes, minding my own business when I sneeze. And when I sneezed, I threw my back out. I couldn't move. My kids was nowhere around. They were outside. No windows was open. I couldn't call for help. I had to just stand frozen until somebody came inside. 3 days, my back was out from a sneeze. Another time, this is recent, just before I retired, I'm sitting in the classroom with preschoolers. It's nap time. I'm in the classroom at the end of the building, which really nobody ever comes to that end of the building. I'm sitting down and I go to get up and I can't move. My one left leg is stuck. And you know, when you sit, you kind of put one foot under the chair. Well, that's where that foot was staying. It wasn't coming out at all. All the kids that spoke English were asleep. The only kids awake were my three new students, one Chinese, one two Japanese. They spoke no English. And I was like, could you go get the phone? And they giggled. I'm like, and I was like, ow. And they were like, my pain was funny to them. They thought I was playing. I'm like, go get the phone. My point, go get the phone. So finally, one went over there and came back with a stapler. Really? I'm like, go get the phone. Please. Phone, talk, phone. One gets up, walks over there, come back with a notebook. I'm like, I am doomed. I am doomed. These kids right here, they're not going to sleep, and they surely don't know what I'm talking about. And they're just giggling and think it's the funniest thing in the world. Finally, a coworker came down the hall and said, hey, do you need a bathroom break? I'm like, I need more than a bathroom break. I need some help. I'm like, don't panic, because I don't want to scare the kids, but I can't move. So she go run down the hall panicking. She need help. She need help. I'm like, I told her not to panic. I'm not trying to scare these kids. And then the director came down the hall and she rubbed my leg and massaged my leg until it loosened up and I was okay. And that happened another time when I was home all alone recently in the last year, sitting in the guest bedroom reading a book. And I went to get up and I couldn't get up because that leg was locked up. I couldn't even call for help. You know why? Because the phone was in the other room. Approximately, I'll say, I don't know, 6, 12, 14, 32, 40, and 40 feet away. Now, I had the idea that I could slide onto the floor out of this chair and military crawl myself down the hall. But that didn't work because once I slid out of the chair onto the floor, I couldn't move. The pain was too much. So I had to lay there until it eased out and I was able to get up. So these are the things that happen when you start aging. Another thing that happened while I was aging within the last I'll say a year, just before my husband retired. He was at work and I'm in the bed sleep because he worked evenings. And I woke up to the sound of whistling. I immediately thought, somebody's in this house. And I could see the clock because I was facing a north wall, which had my back to the door, get out of the room, which was closed, and I'm facing the wall. And the clock is right there. It's 10:30. My husband doesn't get off till 11:30. So I know it's not him whistling. I'm like, oh my God, somebody's in here with me. What freaked me out is I thought they were in the bed with me because it was that freaking close. So I'm like, oh my God, they're laying right next to me, whistling. I said, they want me to move, but I'm not going to move. I'm like, I'm not going to move. So I look at the wall and I come up with a plan. And I decide that this one arm is kind of like under me, but this one is free. So I said, if I karate chop whoever is in the bed with me, I could jump up and run to the door. So I acted like I was kind of like turning around a little bit, not facing the door, but moving and yawning like, like I was snoring. But the whistling was. So I gave this karate chop and I jumped up and I ran to the door and I froze because my brain just said, "You just karate chopped a pillow." And I looked and there was nothing in the bed except the pillows. But then I heard, I'm like, oh my God, they're on the other side of the door. There's something about me you should know. Whenever I enter a room, if someone's home or establishment, I always look for an exit. Yep. I am that person. I'm like, how am I going to get out of here? So I always said if someone broke in the house, I was going to climb out the bedroom window onto the roof, which was right there. It was a flat roof, and I could go to the side and they couldn't see me. So that window had always stayed unlocked. And I had this little stool there with some books on it. So I decide I'm going out the window because whoever's on the other side of the wall is not going to get me. And the whistle was there. It was like, so as I begin to go out the window, I hear, and it sounds like it's right there. I'm like, how is this so? Well, has to do with age. There was nobody in the house. I was whistling. My nose was whistling, okay? The whistle was coming from me. I was running from myself. Oh my gosh. And it happens from time to time when I breathe like that, and it will go whistle like that. I can't believe I was about to climb out on a roof running from a whistle that was coming from myself. So let me tell you something. I know that there are some strange stories out there about getting old, but this is, I think, the strangest story about getting old. Ding, 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 ding. I don't know, but I hope you enjoy getting old.